Welcome to Center Heist Productions. It is July 18th, 2023. It's our 44th episode. And if you could please hit the likes, subscribes, and let's get this following going. Trying to get 100 likes if we can do it. I'm sure we can pull that off. Anyhow, today's topics, I felt very compelled to hit a certain few topics because I'm getting a little tired of a couple of these uh, some of these smaller podcasts just keep going on, and I'm thinking it's been very clear. In the first topic, we're going to head right to it. Logan Mailloux. And I have my co-host, just so you can see, in the room. Yes, Bob Gainey. He's in the room. So, with that being said, Logan Mailloux, this has been the talk of the town, and I'm very, very confused how anybody could not understand that all this pumped jive about, oh, Logan Mailloux when he gets here. First of all, number one, it's been clear as day from day one. Logan has to be approved by the NHL, Gary Bettman. That has not happened. Now, we had that flashy rumor from Eric Ingles who said, oh, there's going to be a meeting immediately after the Stanley Cup was won. Well, that never transpired, and nor has a meeting with the NHL transpired over Logan Mailloux. So let's make that clear. So everybody, with all the hype of Logan, I love Logan myself. I'm looking forward to him getting the break. I don't know why it's taken forever, but we got some news out of Stu Cowan, who seemed to get a bit of an inside track on updating with Logan's situation. And in Stu Cowan's write-up, it has finally come out that the reason the meeting has not transpired is very simple, because Gary Bettman has made it clear when the Montreal Canadiens are ready to put him in the lineup, then they will have that meeting. So I'm not sure whether that means he can still play in Laval. That's about as far as we're going to get with Logan. I'm not really certain. I would have thought that the NHL situation would have a little bit of control over the AHL as well. So really, we don't have anything other than Gary Bettman saying very clearly, until Montreal is ready to put him in the lineup in the NHL, there won't be a meeting. So we won't have clarification on it. So let's get that straight. So all these people who want to go yakking away about something that's not even a topic yet, as far as Logan's just not part, we can't even use him at the moment as part of future conversation until this is cleared up. So what I'm thinking between you and I, and leave your comments about all of these things we've discussed, I'm thinking maybe they're waiting for preseason to start, training camp and preseason, and see where he stands, and whether he's going to have that option to be starting in Montreal. I think either way you look at it, it's going to be a Laval situation. However, if I don't know what jurisdiction Bettman plays over the American Hockey League, but if that's the case, then they might have to have that conversation when training camp and preseason is done. However, no matter what, there's no sense of any of us going on and just yakking away and yammering because about Logan Mailloux, in the sense that we can't consider that a part of the future as of yet. Yes, do I want him there? Of course I do. However, until he's approved to play in the NHL, which it's very clear they're waiting for that moment when the Habs inject him to the NHL, we'll get a decision then. So that's just to clarify that, because it just seems like a lot of people just want to yak on about this on their podcast, and clearly it was very clear from day one that he had to have a sit down with Gary Bettman. That hasn't happened. So let's get that out of the way. Hasn't happened. Okay? So we will know more, I'm assuming. Let's get training camp behind us and we'll hear from there. Next topic we're going to talk about and discuss mostly forward prospects coming up. What our projection is for them. We'll have, so we had Mayu in that mix. I just put him there only because of this topic of just getting to a point where there's so much garbage on it. I got tired of hearing it. So, next, we're going to talk about the forward group more so, and one goaltender will be added into this today's discussion. So, our projections for the up and coming prospects forward group wise. We're going to talk first. The first guy on that list, Emil Heineman, the guy that was a part of the package for Toffoli, and he's been something else. If you've seen him last year in the Montreal's preseason, he was phenomenal, and he would have made the team then, except injury transpired and kept him out. However, my projection, talking to Bob as well, we project Emil Heineman will crack the Montreal lineup. That will be the first thing. There was no doubt in my mind, unless he took major steps back. I haven't heard any. I know he went on to Laval and played quite well. So expect to see Emil Heineman in Montreal's lineup this season. So that's a positive projection for him. Our next one we know, and he's had a little bit of a showing, was Owen Beck. And this is another guy, kind of on the borderline. Had a good little showing in the Habs. Superiors management have such great things to say about Owen Beck, and you can definitely tell he's a part of the future, no matter what you say. Is he? It seems like his play is pretty much there. I would say, for the most part, I would think for Owen Beck, he's got to gain some muscle mass, and I think that's really depending on what he does over the summer here. We'll see. But don't be shocked if he cracks the lineup as well. Okay, he's got a good chance of it as well. This is the guy I think in Montreal will be the next defensive centerman who will take that role as a shutdown guy. That's how I'm projecting him. Sort of your new version of Guy Carbonneau, Patrice Bergeron, those type of guys. He's going to be that guy, and I think he's going to be the third line center on a permanent basis, running that defensive line. So don't be shocked. So we got a positive for Owen Beck. Then our next one is Philip Nassar. And this is funny because there's such bad information on Philip Nassar, and he doesn't get the credit he's due. Now, I know, same thing, I had high hopes for him too, and I'm going to tell you what, I still have high hopes for him. The more I think about it, uh, I had a conversation with somebody, and like I said, the only reason I didn't mention it, because Philip Nassar already impresses me, because people are holding it against him because of his junior play. He was put on the worst team in that league. So it wasn't a great position for him to be in, to be put on that team in the first place. Maybe, though, it helps him as he comes up. But it sounds like he's going to be in Laval. That is the rumor going on now, that he will be playing in Laval this season. They think he's ready. And, I mean, if you looked at the scrimmage, this guy's ready. Talent-wise, another case of muscle mass, I would say. His body, he's going to need to bulk up. So, again, talent-wise, this guy is not getting the credit. He's getting slammed by a lot of smaller podcasts, and I think there's a bit of same with Henneman. He doesn't get the credit either. And I don't know what is it, because some people look at them as they're from other nations. I don't know, but they're not getting the credit that is due unto them. This guy will either crack our lineup or be in Laval all year as well, and that could be for all three guys I've just mentioned. But they're going to be Montreal Canadiens. It's a matter of when. And I think there's also a great chance for him, because I honestly think this kid's going to be, and it's going to be where do they utilize him when he does make Montreal, because he can play center. And this might be the piece of the puzzle to Slavkovsky, where these two have played together before. So don't be surprised. These are the three guys I think that could actually crack the Habs lineup, but more likely a couple of them will be in Laval. I do think Heineman will be the one that has a bit of an edge. Next guy we talk about is Joshua Roy. We're all excited about this because we see now he played in the World Juniors and he was phenomenal. His only knock has been, and let's hope I'm sure he's working on it, his foot speed. He seems to have the IQ is beyond. Great setup, man. He gets into the dirty areas. I love this guy's game. It's all going to be a matter of can he get his foot speed up to the NHL pace. We shall see because there's another guy I could see cracking the lineup. No doubt in my mind because I don't know. I see him on the right wing. And for me, I think we have a need on the right wing. And I think this is the type of guy uh, could be, replacement for the third line. I think he'd make a great pairing with Owen Beck. And, who knows? Maybe Assure's on that line as well in the future. So I do. I'm hoping for a while because he's exciting and he's got the IQ. He just didn't have the foot speed. We need to see it translate to the NHL. He will be in Laval for sure if he doesn't translate immediately. But I think this training camp preseason is going to speak volumes. So again, this is another guy I see on the cusp of making it. And then we go to the other side. Those are my positives. Okay, and those are just the main ones I'm talking about. There might be some names missing. These are the main guys I can see, other than Ulainen, Jesse Ulainen, which I do see. Although they got to get that contract done, I see him also cracking the Habs for sure this season. Although, unless he ends up in waivers and we lose him, that's a question mark. Who knows? I hope not. But anyway, now we go to the next three prospects, and these are the prospects that I see problematic. And one's a goaltender, of course. We all know who it is. And maybe I'll start with that. It's Caden Primo. This is kind of do or die for Caden. He's kind of going backwards now, where he was a lot more successful in the AHL. He didn't have a good year last year. Uh, every sign has shown he's not NHL material. He's had plenty of chances. Bottom dollar, I think he gets his chance once more, and this will be the final chance, and it'll be in training camp, possibly preseason. Depending on how he does, I do believe this is where the Habs say bon voyage, Kate, and they let him walk. And unless they're going to keep him as a guy to be a permanent AHL goaltender to work with the kids that got a chance to come up and develop. That's the only way I would hang on to him. It's going to depend on a lot of things. However, do I think a team, if Montreal lets him walk, I'm sure there'll be a team out there that'll give him a crack and keep developing with him and see what he can do. He's not NHL material. So I do suspect the Habs will let him walk with them drafting three goaltenders and having Dobbs in there. They got a few good chances to actually have one of those guys come up as their future goaltender, along with Sam Montembeault. Let's not just discredit Sam Montembeault because he could turn out to be that guy as well. I have a lot of confidence in him. He's impressed me. Okay, so that takes care of Primo. I think he's one of the X factors on the negative side that will end up walking or being left to walk, not brought carried forward. Next guy, it's going to shock some people. I think Riley Kidney, a good player, good young player. This is not a knock against Riley, but we have so much talent in our young prospect pool. And I think we're in a position now where we got to watch how small we are getting with our prospects. So I think for Riley, where he hasn't been the superior in the superior group, grouping, I think they'll use him as trade bait and probably throw him in a package. That's what I'm expecting for Riley Kidney. I think if Montreal's up to at any point wanting to make a trade for someone, and like let's just say to get rid of Mike Hoffman, they might have to throw in a Riley Kidney and a draft pick. Who knows, right? So I think, unfortunately, because there's so much depth in the talent pool, I think he's a prospect that gets traded. And sorry to say, talented kid, but I think he's a few steps behind the other guys we have mentioned. And our final one is Sean Farrell. And this is kind of the same scenario, but actually maybe a little worse than something. He's got the talent. There's no doubt about it. He's got lots of talent. Shame doesn't have the size, and it just doesn't seem to be projectable for the NHL. I just get this bad feeling that Sean Farrell is going to be your Charles Hudon type player, and I think this is a guy, whether he'll be probably Laval material, I don't think he may have stints, the odd game with the Habs, just to see a little more of them, but I think they're pretty much going to have it figured out. He could be another one of those guys that, like Kidney, is thrown into a package in a trade. So don't be surprised, but I do think this is my call on this show. These are my projections of what's going to happen to these forward prospects. And I think he'll be moved or he'll be left and signed as, one of those veterans that works in the AHL permanently. So that's how I see it on that. I had to address certain things. There's going to be another one or two coming because we have more to talk about. There's so much up in the air and so many rumors being made. I just heard another podcast create a whole new rumor all on their own. I'm going to address it because I don't buy us creating rumors. You can talk about rumors that are being heard from media, but we don't need to be a part of creating rumors. So I'm going to put that to rest when I get my next video, and we'll discuss that topic. It'll be an interesting one, as you'll see. But really, there's nothing much going on. We're waiting for Ylonen to get signed. That's really the only thing we're waiting on. Is there a trade that is being worked on in the background? I know there was a lot of rumor with New York Rangers. More so, I haven't really. I've heard Philly mentioned. I haven't heard much on that, so I don't know how true any of Philly ones are. I think with like people like Friedman have mentioned New York, so those seem a little more real. That there was discussions on trying to find a way to get Lafreniere. It's a rumor, though. Again, it's a rumor, but at least it comes from a better source, being one of the insiders. It's not created by just one of us who don't know yet, right? We'll all find out at the same time. So anyway, that being said, thank you for watching. Please hit the likes and subscribes. We will be coming back with one or two more videos because I feel there's a few topics that just our smaller podcast sections. There's individuals who are coming out creating rumors, and I think it's some of us like to put those to bed because we don't need any more rumor being created than is necessary. So anyway, please hit the likes, subscribes below, send your friends over. Let's grow this community. Let's get 150 likes. That would be beautiful. And like I said, I didn't expect there to be much on, but we got a little bit going on here. So thank you for watching, and where does the puck drop first? Here at Center Ice. God bless you all. We'll see you in the next episode.